Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us as we track cold winds blowing in from the Southern Ocean. We've seen a few snow flurries this morning around Dipton in Southland. We might get a couple more snow flurries, but this is not an Antarctic blast, even though it's going to be colder in some areas for a whole week ahead. It's not coming out of Antarctica, and as you can see here on the wind map, it's actually coming out from around Tasmania as we move through the rest of today. But the main surge of windy weather is coming in around Auckland later on for Wednesday afternoon, and then those blustery conditions ease back a little bit overnight. So we've got some rain on the way for the next 3 days. The heaviest falls in the bright blue here, which is pushing up around 150, 175, maybe even 200 millimetres of rain. But that's pretty normal for this time of the year over on the western side. A little bit more unusual might be the rain falling in parts of Southland, over 50 millimetres coming for you over the next few days ahead. That's not ideal with lambing now underway properly. I mean, lambing's been underway in some areas for a month or so, but it really gets underway in September, and wind and cold aren't a very good mix. But when you put the wet in there, the dampness, that's what makes it far more deadly for newborn livestock. So we're certainly hoping it's not as bad as that, but just letting you know it will be windy and wet and cold in the lower part of New Zealand. And for those who want the rain, like the rangers around the southern part of Auckland, which, believe it or not, missed out on the flooding rains that we got last week, and the eastern side around Hawke's Bay also looking quite dry, just 5 to 10 millimetres over the next few days. And we are seeing some snow, but the good news is this is falling mostly around the mountains, the tops of the mountains going off the key with over a metre of snow expected, but the low level areas not expecting very much in the way of snow. There may also be a few snow flurries around the Desert Road and the Napier-Taupo Highway. We've got some windy weather though as we get into Thursday. Look at this. So high pressure over Australia, that's why it's calm up there, but windy weather starts from about Sydney southwards, which is still Australia obviously, and Tasmania really caught up in those windy westerlies. And those same windy westerlies blowing straight into the South Island, that blows that blue line off New Zealand for Thursday. So Wednesday's a cold day, Thursday warms up a degree or two. If you're down in the deep south, you bring out your winter shorts for Thursday, because it'll be about a degree or two warmer. We've got a few showers and rain continues on the west coast. As we get into Friday, there's the next wintry surge. The blue line comes back, winter weather comes back into the South Island again on Friday with snow flurries mostly in the mountains, but heavy falls through there might affect some of those alpine highways. And we'll be seeing windy, warm nor'westers, or at least, mild for this time of the year on Friday, blowing across the North Island. You can see those strong winds. We've been talking about this for the last day or two. This area here with the brighter shading is showing 140, 150k gusts. So we are expecting some pretty strong wind gusts through the mountains and ranges. The more populated areas like Masterton and Wellington, you're up around that 110 kilometre an hour mark. So it will be blustery as we go through Friday. There could be some power cuts and a few trees down. Further north, the winds aren't so bad, but they are still gusting at times into gale force on Friday. As we go to Saturday, the blue line, which measures air thickness, showing that colder Southern Ocean air pushing right up across into the North Island, stops at around about Auckland as we get there into Saturday, and a big storm down here just south of Tasmania as we go into the weekend. On Sunday, that system moves into Australia, so they've got a cold change. Adelaide, Melbourne, Hobart get the temperature drop, and by the end of Sunday it should actually reach Canberra and Sydney. New Zealand's got warmer nor'westers on Sunday. We've got 3 different low pressure systems in a row there. So that's all low pressure, and on the other side, high pressure up to the north. So the squash zone, the nor'westers blowing through across New Zealand as we get in towards the Sunday mark. And we've got some more rain as we go into next week. So this shows the rain for Sunday and Monday. Not much, if any, for these areas in the north and the east, but again, very heavy rain. Over 200 millimetres coming in those 2 days, which means we've got about half a metre of rain falling on the west coast from this week into next week. So that is a lot when you accumulate it all up. And we've got more rain coming back to Southland, another 30 millimetres or so in that next burst. So it's not ideal for everybody. And unfortunately, where it says Hastings, that's where everyone, a lot of people in Hawke's Bay want more rain, and there isn't very much on the way. By Monday of next week, high pressure slides off, but we've still got those nor'westers, and they're subtropical, coming out from New Caledonia, Tonga area, Fiji even, drifting down into the North Island, but it's colder at the other end and colder across the southeastern corner of Australia. And our final map for Tuesday shows more of those mild winds for the North Island, but wintry weather remains in the south. The silver lining, or the positive I'll give you if you are in the middle of lambing and calving in the South Island, is that it won't be overly stormy as that system moves through, and it's the wind chill that can be quite deadly with newborn livestock. So hopefully, even though it's a bit cold, the winds just might settle down a wee bit, but it's definitely not ideal weather for that for the next week or so, I should say, across the country for lambing. But otherwise, mild for the North Island, and then we've got high pressure maybe coming in later next week. That is all from me. For more details, drill down deeper at ruralweather.co.nz. It's the world's largest weather data website for New Zealand. And our next global weather video update is also out today, tracking the biggest lows and highs around the world. There are a few tropical storms going on at the moment in the Northern Hemisphere, and believe it or not, there is some snow in Africa. We've got full details coming up with that video later on today. We'll see you tomorrow.